and
Yep.
hopefully we will be in the right stream. There we go. We're on.
Yeah, I'm seeing the right message.
Okay, and we are streaming to both of our YouTube channels. Thank the Lord. So sorry everybody for this morning. We were having some technical difficulties and we're here now.
Oh, yeah.
You may have seen us pop up a few times because we didn't have a clue what we're doing.
Yep.
Rose, you've got noise happening.
It's on YouTube.
This morning. Yeah, we're on YouTube. We were having some technical difficulties, and we're here now.
Oh, yeah.
I have to.
Seen us pop up a few times because we didn't.
Hi, Daryl.
Yeah. Rose, you've got noise happening.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm having issues. Oh my God. This is like. Okay, hold on.
You haven't got YouTube up, have you, on your phone?
Oh, I know. Okay. Now we're good. Let me just make sure I got my phone back.
Yeah, your phone's right.
Oh my goodness, this is like a comedy of errors tonight. I needed a good laugh.
It's a comedy act this morning. It really, really is. So
okay, we're live. We're here.
So yeah, we've been having some great fun here. But anyway, we are here and we are live for our basic foundations of card making live craft together. And I mean, this is the fun stuff that we have. This is the second time we've tried to do it, and we probably popped up on YouTube. I'm so sorry for everyone several times, and you were probably thinking, what are those mad people doing? But yeah, we were trying to deal with technology. But anyway, so welcome everybody. I will spotlight Rose and I. So we are here with our members from our basic foundations of card making for our live craft along session that we do at the end of each month. And of course, you'll all say here in Australia, but it's the beginning of the next month. That is correct. But it was so close to the end of the month yesterday that we decided that we would do our live video today. And Rose was away last week as well. So we couldn't go live.
We just like to confuse everybody.
Yeah. We just like to keep you all
confuse
guessing.
everybody. No, it's not the last Friday. It's the last Thursday for us. The last Friday for Australia, but we'll figure it out.
But we're here anyway. So we have been playing with this beautiful Jar of Joy stamp set. So all of the members got this stamp set this month. So being a part of our basic foundations of card making is not just learning the foundations of card making. You get a package every month of supplies that we craft with and create with. And admittedly, when it comes time for us, because we order the product in and then we pack it and we send it out to everybody. And once again, we apologize because we made our decision this morning of what we're using for this month. So we will have to be ordering that today, waiting for that to get in and then sending it out to the members. But the beauty of it is they get to see 2 projects from myself, 2 projects from Rose, and then we get to have this craft along together as well. So we have been working from the color wheel. And we've been using our templates, which being a part of the basic foundations of card making, even if you join right now, you get access to how to create these templates because we are trying to make crafting easy all across the board, no matter where you live in the world, to be able to look at a card and be able to work out how to cut your layers in your measurements where you live. So just because it's a card made in an international country does not mean that you cannot make it yourself. So you just have to be able to, a little bit like dressmaking, you have to be able to work out where they start from, which is normally the card base, what their first layer is, what their second layer is, and so on. And by using these templates, we don't talk about measurements because we all have different measurements, so that confuses everybody. So we're trying to simplify it by using these templates every month. And for all of the members that are here, you must admit, working from the templates has made it so much easier when it comes to crafting. And you can now look at an American made card and go, you know what, I can do that in my Australian sizes. Same for Rose's followers. they can now look at Australian cards and they can say, well, you know what? Now I can make that in my measurements in the size card that's going to fit in the envelopes for us here in America. So that is our whole, we want to teach you all the tips and tricks. And it is, we are bearing it all as far as every single thing that we know in these groups because, and if there's any questions that any members want to ask, we are here for people to actually ask those questions and to learn because we want card making to be a relaxing, enjoyable thing. We don't want it to be a stressful thing. I had a member last night at bingo who's brand new to crafting and she was stressing and I was like, take a breath and relax. You're supposed to be enjoying this, like so I think we've got to just stop and take a moment and go, you know what, this is what we do for joy. So anyway, have you got any words for anyone for this morning, Rose?
Absolutely. So again, thank you all for tuning in with us. And I just want to tell you that the feedback that I have gotten is just unbelievable because new crafters love this because they're starting out and they're not sure how to do certain things, and we are showing them the basics. The people that have been stamping a long time, like myself, Donna, and some of our followers there, have been doing it forever, and they've even forgotten these basic tips and tricks or basic information, basic stamping, things that you can do. And they're like, oh my God, I learned that years ago. I totally forgot about that. So if you're out there and you're thinking, I don't want to do basics. I've been stamping for 100 years. But do you remember everything from back when you first started stamping? I know I don't. And some of the things I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I learned that the first thing. So think about it because it's good for everyone. You're going to learn something or you're going to relearn something, or maybe you're going to learn something that you thought you knew, but now you're going to learn it in a different way. So if that makes sense, you know what I'm talking about.
And sometimes like the things that we learn too, it makes you understand why something is not working. Like if we give you a different alternative way to do something and it works, then it's going to make you understand the thing that you were possibly going wrong or the direction that you were taking that was not quite the right direction. We are trying to simplify it and make sure that there are no bloopers, that there are no mistakes, that you can actually learn from it and be better at what you do as well. So and I think we all agree the more we craft, the better we get at it. And I remember back from the very first card I ever made, and oh my Lord, I should have kept that card because I think now, like, oh, I would scream and go, oh my God, that looks like a 2-year-old child made that card, but we all learn as we go along. So hopefully you've been enjoying these live craft alongs, but if you want to get in on the action, the links are in the description of this video. So if you want to join for Rose, you can join in the US if you live in the US. If you want to join and you're from Australia, you use my link. If you're international, you can choose to the link will actually take you to choose from either of them. So you can, if you want to do the online content, but that is only if you live outside of the United States or outside of Australia. So if you try to do that link when you live in either of those two places, we will refund your money and cancel your subscription. So because the whole idea is that we are putting this on and it is a part of our business. So so hopefully you enjoy. Rose is actually going to take the floor this morning, so she's going to go first. So I'm going to hang on. I need to remove my spotlight. Then I need to spotlight your phone.
Yes.
Just bear with me. I cannot
Right
see.
ahead. While you're doing that, I want to tell you something funny. Donna, you were talking about your first card that you made. If anybody is out there that's watching us that follows me on Facebook, I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago. I was cleaning out something in my craft room and I came across the box of cards. Now, I've been stamping for over 25 years, so these cards were made over 25 years ago. And when I tell you the same thing, I looked at them and I said, it looks like a little kid made this card. But I looked at it and I was like, I can remember the feeling of making that card, and whether I gave it to my husband or I gave it to my son, because I kept them all. And now I look at it and I go, oh my God, what was I thinking? But I still got that feeling. Like I remember how they were like, oh my God, that's so
But I was
great.
going to say, just that joy of when you actually make your first card, like the team member I was talking about that was here last night, she squealed with joy the very first card that she ever made. She squealed the very first time she stamped on a bit of cardstock. Like,
Yeah,
and to see that excitement and that joy, it like you can't put a price tag on that. It is so
absolutely not.
awesome to see that. All right.
Absolutely not.
I
All right,
will.
so you're gonna spotlight this. There we
I'll
go.
remove,
You're gonna see the
I
side of
don't
my
want to
head.
remove it. There we go. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so we were using the jar of joy. We were going with the color wheel, and we were using cherry cobbler, real red, old olive, and granny apple green. So, well, let's see. I was gonna just bring in something. I forgot what it was. Oh, here it is. Okay, so if you were a member, you got this stamp set plus your card bases and colors and some of these cute little gems. And did I bring, oh yes, and some twine. So this is everything they got in their kits. And they got this stamp set. Now the stamp set also has a punch. So I'm just going to close that up for a minute. So the great thing about this was, yes, the punch, love, love, love the punch. But if you just got this set and didn't have the punch, you could fussy cut that with no problem. So we're going to put that over there for a second. And I'm going to do my card. So the first thing I'm going to do is you received 2 pieces of thick basic white. And I'm going to cut that in half for the US. Well, in half for everybody, whatever the half size you have. I am going to then score that. And that is going to be my card base. Then I'm going to grab a piece of my real red. And I am going to cut this down. Now, this is what Donna was talking about. This is my black contrast layer. And I don't give the sizes because my size is different than Donna's. So if you're following this and you're in Australia and you're making this card, just pull out your black template and whatever size that is in Australia, that's what you would be cutting it down for. Make sense? Sometimes I make sense in my own head, but I don't make sense after I hear it again. All right, so that's my red layer. I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to show you an alternative, but I'll do that later. Then I'm going to grab my, okay, I think this is the berry burst layer. And I'm going to use a piece of granny apple green. This is where the templates come into play. And then I'm going to grab, and under the light, sometimes I can't tell, but I think that's the fresh freesia. And let me just grab this real quick here and make sure. Yeah. Okay, so I am going to grab my red again. And I am going to cut that at my fresh freesia layer. And those are the layers I'm going to be using. And if you're following on your templates, these are the colors that you need from the template. I'll put those over there. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in my card base, leave that there, these 3 colors. I'm going to bring in some ink. I'm going to grab some real red. And do I have my granny? There's my granny apple green. And I'm going to start with the real red. And where's my little, there it is. I am going to do some tone on tone with the red. And I'm just making a background. I want to make sure I'm in camera view. And this was the whole point with the color wheel and learning tone on tone, monochromatic stamping. Okay, so I've got a little background there. And I'm going to cheat because I don't know where my cleaner thing is. So, oh, here it is, right here. Imagine that. It's right where it's supposed to be. Ugh, there we go. Clean that off. I'm going to grab my granny apple green, and I'm going to do the same thing.
So Judith Carling on YouTube said that she's got her first cards that she made. I keep wondering if I should throw them away, but for
Oh
some
gosh,
reason I
no.
can't. Judith, don't throw them away. I am so devastated that I don't have those beginning cards anymore.
Oh, you got to keep them. I thought about scrapbooking mine actually. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one. I am going to bring in my paper snips and I'm going to do a little bit of distressing. So just a little bit to add a little texture. This is just a little technique that probably one of the first techniques I've learned, and how many times I forget to do it. And it really does add to your card. Yes, you get a little bit of shavings all over the place, but it just adds just a little bit of texture to your cards there. I'm going to then do the red. Not a lot. You can do more if you'd like.
You can actually get a distressing tool too. We don't sell it at Stampin' Up, but some people use a distressing tool, but I find the blade of the scissors does it quite easily.
And if you're a demonstrator that has been, or a customer that has been with Stampin' Up for a long time, we used to sell them. I wish we still did. Okay, I'm switching to red. I'm not even going to clean this off. I'm just going to add some more here.
Maybe we need to sandbox that and ask them to bring some back.
There's a few things, and yes, anybody that has an idea, send it to the sandbox. The other thing I would love to see come back is our ribbon scissors.
Yes.
Although I wouldn't use my ribbon scissors for the distressing.
Although at the moment it'd be nice to have any scissors, wouldn't it? In case some of you don't know, we don't sell snips anymore. They're looking for another supplier, and it's so sad that we don't sell the snips anymore. I love my snips.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the green. I'm going to flip that over. Now I'm using Stampin' Seal, and during these classes, you'll see that I do use liquid glue sometimes, whereas Donna uses the liquid glue more than the Stampin' Seal. And that's the nice thing. You can see the same ideas using different glues and how they work. Take your pick tool. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And we did this virtual album retreat last week. I think it was last week. It might have been 2 weeks now.
2 weeks ago.
And one thing that I always do this, right? So I put one on each corner. And I never thought about it until I did that album retreat about putting one in the center so that your card or your scrapbook page doesn't sag. Never
now
thought
here's
about that.
me. I would put another 2 on there as well, besides one in the middle.
So I have that now. I'm going to put that aside for a second. I am going to grab a piece of white, and I am going to take my jar, and I'm going to show you a couple little things here. I need 3 jars. I'm just going to do 2 for now, and I'm going to show you 2 different things. Now, if I was stamping the jar top, which I don't need, not in white anyway, this is how your punch would work on that. Beautiful, right? But if you don't have the punch, I'm going to show you how easy it is just to fussy cut that. And again, our subscribers to this class got this stamp set. They could order the punch from us, or maybe they already have it. But in case they didn't, I wanted to show, I didn't want anybody to be left out. I wanted to show you how easy it is to just cut that out.
Thanks, Rose, because I didn't order the punch.
Oh my God, Donna, you
I've
didn't.
had to fussy cut it.
Okay. I'm going to just stamp that one over here. I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to punch it out. And really, let me just show you, because we're going to be doing this too. I'm just going to grab this little piece right here. If you don't have the punch, it's really easy to just fussy cut that too. They're not real intricate, so you can just cut that right around there. But if you do have the stamp set and you do want to order the punch now, if you are in Australia, you just go to Donna's website and order the punch. And if you're in the US, you can order through me. I'm not going to finish cutting that out because I really don't want to use it. I'm just showing you how easy it is to do that. Okay, I'm going to bring these 3 guys in here. I don't know why I call them guys. They might be girls. And I am going to grab my crumb cake, I think, one. going to grab my crumb cake and I'm going to stamp my snowman. I could do it in black, but I didn't want the real darkness of it. And then I'm going to grab my red. Anybody that has this, the first time I used this, I was like, how the heck do you put this guy on there? Well, think of the way the scarf is going. And you might get my head in here because I'm trying to do this perfect, which might not happen. Ooh, I impressed myself. And then the next one, I'm going to grab the little gingerbread guy in the crumb cake. I'm doing a crumb cake. I like Christmas time. I love red and crumb cake or cherry cobbler. I don't know what it is about those two colors, but I just love them together. I'm going to grab the inside of that one. Make sure I'm doing it the right way here. Again, there's a little bow tie and there's a little bow tie. So I am going to really try to get that right where it belongs. Close enough. And then last but not least, I am going to take my green and I'm going to take the ornaments. Put those in the jar. So now I have all those little guys done. I'm going to move this out of the way before I stick my hands in it. And I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to grab a little Wink of Stella. And the thing I like about the Wink of Stella is you can, and we did this in one of our classes. You can also pick up color with that. I just want to right now just make them a little shimmery. But if you are part of this class, last month, I think it was, Donna, or was it the month before, that we showed them how to color all the different colors you could do with Wink of Stella.
I think it was a couple of months ago, actually. Yeah.
Time just flies by. Okay, so now I'm going to take this little jar and I'm going to pop him up. Oh my God, we were just talking about the weather, how it's cold in Australia and it's summertime here in New York. And it's been like in the 90s. Today was in the 70s. And I said, oh, it feels so much better. And all of a sudden right now, it feels like it's 100 degrees. Okay, so we are going to pop those off. I'm going to put this one right here. And I don't need a top yet. So I'm going to take some more dimensionals.
And look at just the way Rose picks her dimensionals up with her Take Your Pick tool. See, they are the tips and tricks that we are teaching people because it just is a time saver. And also nice to keep your dimensional backings everywhere where they're supposed to be. But we can see Rosie's got some on the desk there.
Oh, yeah, they're all over.
And where did they just sweep off to?
Them right off. How long ago was that, Donna? I'm like flicking them off. Donna's like, oh, I didn't know I could do that.
And you know, I have learned so much from hanging out with Rose and seeing the things that she does, and I'm like, I had no idea that you could do that.
And vice versa on that one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece of green that I have left, and this is what I was talking about. I'm just going to punch out a green one. I could stamp it, but I don't need that. And I'm going to take this other little strip of red that I had left when I cut my templates. Yeah, I've learned a lot from Donna too. And I'll tell you, that's the great thing about stamping. Whether you're a demonstrator or you do it for yourself, stamping, when you get together with people, it's great to learn the different ways that people do things. And everybody's got their own. I'm looking for my minis, and of course, they're probably not here.
All the stuff.
We're going to just cut that in half. All right, what I'm going to do here, because this is puffed up, but if I put this here, I'm going to glue it right there. This is where I'm going to use my liquid glue. And normally what I would do is put a little mini dimensional there. This thing is full, but it's not coming out. And I know it's going to happen. This is why I don't use liquid glue. It'll come pouring out any second on me. But sometimes you just need to. Come on, make a liar out of me.
Yeah, and then you'll squeeze it and it'll go.
Hey, that's what I go. So I want this to make sure that it's not rocking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my end pieces and cut a very tiny little piece out. So again, another, and when I first started stamping, I can't tell you how many people threw out those edges. And the take your pick tool is also good for that because I can just get that right where I need it. Use my fingernail. And I'm just going to put that right on top. So now it's glued on the top of my jar, but it's not going to rock because I got that little dimensional under there. And then, which I forgot, I wanted to use some of my ribbon. So we'll just cheat. I'll show you another little trick then because I wanted the ribbon down first, which I forgot. I'm going to just slide this with. I'm just going to slide this, but with my take your pick tool, if my fingers don't get in the way. Watch this. I'm just going to shove that right in there. Get them over there and pull them.
Now
So there we
there's
go.
a trick. See, there's something that you haven't
There we
seen.
go. And now I can just tuck that under there. Okay, because that's the part I forgot. It's all good. Okay. I have that there. I'm gonna glue this down next. Come on. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I was going on vacation, well, just for a long weekend, for a weekend away. So when I went and had my nails done, I told them not to cut them down. So now I got to go back and say, cut them down because I can't do anything.
I was actually looking how long they were this morning, Rose. I
I
was thinking to
know.
say, yeah.
Yeah, they got to cut down now. It's like, no, I'm going away. I want them nice and long. Okay. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add some dimensionals.
And I'm the total opposite. I've cut mine back so short that even last night in my bingo, someone said to me, wow, Donna, that looks very sedate for your nails. And I was, yeah, I don't know. I was just having one of those sedate days. I was like, nope, I want to cut them all off. I want to have just a nice soft color. Like,
Usually I can keep them, well, not quite this long, but a little bit longer than, when they're real short.
I was
And I
gonna.
can usually,
It's when you can see your thumbnail. It's when you see your thumbnail. It's like, wow, they're long.
yeah, yeah. And then, and maybe this is too much information, but then I try to get my contacts out. And that's always fun. I'm like,
I know
no, I'm going.
you tend to start using your fingers sideways, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing. See, you're learning tricks about other
I
things
know.
too. Watching us. Okay, I'm going to put that
We
one
don't
right
just talk
here.
about crafting here.
No, we don't. Okay, so there's my little card. And then I am going to just take, I got this piece right here. I don't think that's long enough, but maybe it is. I like to use up as much as I can. So this is still where I cut the jars out from. And I'm still going to use that because I'm going to put my sentiment right in here. No, I'm not going to freehand this. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. That brave I'm not. And I am going to just cut this into a strip. And it's a little off, but we're going to fix that because we're actually going to have it. It's not going to be straight anyway. So we're just going to trim some of that off. Again, this part of your dimensionals are great. We'll just use this piece for the long sentiment pieces. I actually go around after my classes because there are some people that don't want to use those edges. And if they've thrown them in the little trash bins I have, I take them back out because I love these side pieces for my sentiments.
Me too. I like the other side. You know, the side that doesn't have the bigger, the thinner side. You know how you have one thin side and then you have the other thicker. Two thin sides and two thicker ones.
It's just I hate to waste anything. And if you watch me, you know that. Okay, we're gonna again the nails are getting in the way. We're just gonna pull that. There we go. I'm just gonna pull that through, get a little twine here. We are going to tie a little bow. Now I definitely have too much twine here for my bow. I always start out with a lot. For me, it's just easier. And slide that over just a bit. This is where it's really hard because definitely vacation nails are not cooperating. I just want a little tiny bow here. There's my famous ribbon scissors. Love, love, love. Okay.
They were before my time. They weren't available when I joined.
I actually had a few pair of them, but my son, when he comes home, he comes to my craft room. Oh, I can use that and I can use that. And then they go to California. Okay, so we're going to leave that bow right there. We're going to bring in those cute little gems. And I'm probably going to have to open a new pack because I think the smaller ones. These are the little peppermints. They are still available online. Last year they sold out so quick. Oh no, I did have some small ones. Oh well. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the larger one here. I'm going to add some of these cute little peppermints. And maybe one little one. And then I'm actually going to take these small ones and put them right there in that little gingerbread spot. That's why I didn't care if that didn't line up because I knew I was going to put that there. And on here, I'm actually going to put one on each. Just like that. And there's my cute little card. And then on the inside, I am going to stamp it with, I loved it. I love the sentiments in this set. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. And then we will grab, I'm going to do the snowman. I'll put him right here. And my little red scarf. Again, I always have to remember, line it the easiest way. That line right there, line it up to the hat. And then pray. There we go. So there is my cute little card with the jar. And I always have to look at it, of joy with the peppermint candies. And I wanted to just show you the same exact card. And you can see this is Old Olive and this is the Granny Apple Green.
Very
I
cute.
want to put more up there. Yeah, so same exact card, just different colors. And you can, mix and match. We need a bigger one up there. We'll just put him right there. Okay.
Well done.
I think they're cute. And now I got 2 Christmas cards made already.
A head start.
I got a head start.
All right.
So I hope you enjoyed that card. And
nice.
Now we will see what Donna has for us.
Well, I'm actually not going to use the jar this morning.
Ooh, I like that.
Because, I have to fussy cut it. So I'm like, anyway.
You want the number of the jar?
I don't mind fussy cutting it, but, I just thought just to change it up a little bit, just because we have been using the jar in everyone that we've done. So I thought to myself, why not actually try it without using the jar and see what we can come up with? So I've gone ahead of time and I've cut a few things. So for our members that are wanting to recreate this, I've used some different greens to what Rose has. I've got Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler. So I've done our black layer in Mossy Meadow. I've done our Old Olive layer. Oh, sorry, I'm out of the screen there. Sorry. I've done our Old Olive layer is the Berry Burst template. The Melon Mambo I've done in Cherry Cobbler, and then I've done in the Boho Blue, I've done a white layer. Okay, so I'll take all those templates away.
Lots of nice layers. I like that.
See there. So I wanted to use all 3 colors that I sent you. So, and of course we've got, God, my camera is like totally, hang on, I move my camera. I'm like, no, other way. There we go. I was like, why is everything up there? I'm like on my desk and everything was out of screen. So I apologize. So I've got my basic white layer, my card base that I'm going to fold in half. and use my bone folder to crease along the edges, and I like to crease both sides so that you get a really nice, good, crisp crease. So I'm going to pop that aside. Now, I'm going to do a similar thing to what Rose did on my old olive. I'm actually going to use the little spotty stamp, but I'm actually going to do it in cherry cobbler because I want it to be shown up a little bit more. So now, of course, we we are using a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to put my pierced mat in underneath, and sometimes I forget to do that. And I'm
like I did.
That's right. That's right. And then I just thought that when I just said that, I was like, oh my God, I'd seen that Rose didn't do that, but I wasn't picking on you, Rose. Yeah.
No, I know it's right in front of me. It's just sometimes, you get so involved, you forget those little
Exactly. We get a
things
little
you
bit
really
carried
need.
away and we just, yeah, do. So I'm just going to, with cherry cobbler, as I said, I want it to look a little bit more obvious. So I'm just going to stamp randomly around and keep rotating. When you are stamping like this, rotate your stamp, rotate your cardstock so that you get some different angles with it. So I'm just going right around the outside edge. So just to give like a nice little spotty effect on there. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this basic white piece, and that's going to be my front focal piece. And I'm also going to use a scrap piece of basic white because I'm going to do something. I am going to fussy cut a little bit, but not a lot. All right. So I'm now going to stamp the sentiment, wishing you the sweetest Christmas, in cherry cobbler. And I'm going to stamp that down on the bottom over towards that right-hand side, like that. Now, I love these ornaments. I just love stamping an edge with the ornaments. So I thought I'm going to do my usual and stamp the ornaments, but I'm going to stamp them in crumb cake. So crumb cake gives you a look like, and I'm going to pop my piece of scrap paper under me again. Crumb cake gives you a look like if you don't want to do gold embossing, and because we're doing basic foundations of card making, we haven't done the embossing, haven't gone down the embossing track just yet. So if you want to cheat and make it look like gold, my cheat thing is I use crumb cake, and it actually can have that gold effect. So I'm just going to stamp my little ornaments, and I like to randomly stamp them at different levels. Now I want to not get on my sentiment there. Oh, I did go over the sentiment a little bit, but anyway. And like that. So I've just done some cute little ornaments across the top there.
Donna,
Yes.
you just said you went over the wording, but if you bring that back
It doesn't
and you
really
look
matter
at it,
because
it,
the
it
cherry
actually
cobbler.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it, yeah, because it's behind it.
Because the cherry cobbler is a stronger color, so it won't
Right,
match.
right. I
If
like the way that
if
came
I
out.
was doing a stronger color there, it would have clashed with the sentiment, but it didn't. So that was lucky, I guess, on my part. But anyway, now I'm also going to grab out the cute little gingerbread stamp and pop that on a block. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the gingerbread stamp in crumb cake, but I'm going to fussy cut just the gingerbread out.
Ooh,
So I'm
I
going
like
to
that.
stamp, and I'm going to do a couple because I want probably two of the little gingerbread men. So now I'm going to fussy cut that. And what I like to do when I'm fussy cutting is make your piece of paper, make your piece of cardstock smaller. I see so many people that are trying to fussy cut and they've got this big piece of paper and they're trying to play around with the big piece of paper. Make it smaller so that you can maneuver the cardstock a lot better. So I'm just going to cut out these cute little gingerbread men, and they are so stinking cute. Now, something I was listening to in the virtual album retreat, they were talking about people in America, they were talking about building a gingerbread house, and they were asking people, do you eat your gingerbread house after you've built it, or do you just build the gingerbread house and use it as a display? So, Rose, I know you have done gingerbread houses, haven't you? Building gingerbread houses.
Absolutely. We actually do that almost every year as a challenge.
Yep.
When my son and daughter-in-law come home, and then my husband used to be the one that would judge them,
Yep.
and that or gingerbread cookies we would decorate. So I do not eat the gingerbread house.
I
No.
know.
But
We
I
were so
see
surprised. Well, for us here in Australia, because the way they are put together is with icing and stuff, and people eat them. Like
yeah.
I remember doing it with my youngest daughter. She one year she just wanted to get a gingerbread house and build it and put it all together. So we did. We did it once. Like so it's not a regular thing that we do, but we have done it once. And I remember her saying just the Christmas just gone, she was trying to get her friends together and all buy gingerbread houses and do it, and she couldn't get them to do it. No one wanted to do it. And she said,
Oh,
"What is
really?
wrong with them? Why do they not want to make the gingerbread house?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it might be something that in your childhood that you liked, but you're now in your 20s and maybe they're thinking, why are you
Well,
doing that?"
I don't know. We like doing them,
Exactly, exactly. All right, so I've
But
got
now,
my
do you eat
two.
them, Donna?
Sorry.
Did you eat that
The
gingerbread
the
house
time that
afterwards?
we made it, so we've only ever done it once, and the time that we did it, yes, we did eat it. Yeah. It was pretty average. It didn't taste real nice, and that's probably why people don't eat them.
Exactly. And not to mention you make it before Christmas, it's sitting out for like a week or two,
Yeah,
and
yeah. And I mean,
then you
well,
go
put
to
it this
eat it.
way, ours didn't sit out for that long because we just made it and then we ate it.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't have it on display or anything. We just made it and then ate it. So now I'm going to stick that label on like so. I've got my two cute little gingerbread men, which I'm going to pop up on here. Now I want to put a little bit of that red twine around too. So I'm just going to wrap the red twine around just this end here. It is going to cover up some of my ornaments on there, but I'm okay with that. So how I cheat with my twine wrapping it around, I'm going to add some Seal Plus. We're going to stick the end of the twine into the Seal Plus. We're going to wrap around a couple of times and stick it back into the Seal Plus on the back and cut it off. So I don't actually, oh wow, and those scissors, talk about ribbons. Oh my God, they're like chewing through there. What is that pair of scissors? Let's get another pair out. That was bad. All right, so we've got that. I'm then going to, I don't thread my twine in underneath. I'm just going to do a bow, and I'm going to do a double bow because I like to, with twine, I actually like to see like a thicker bow. So I'm going to do a double. All I'm doing is two thicknesses of my twine and tie a little bow.
I like that idea.
And that way it thickens up the twine a little bit and just makes it a little bit more obvious.
I'll tell you, Donna, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I could put a to and from on the back, and that would be a great tag for
Yeah.
Christmas. See, this is what
So,
we mean. We get ideas from each other as we're watching each other create.
and the only one thing I don't get about twine, it always wants to twist the loop. Like, but anyway, I got it to stay straight. I think I did. Okay. All right. So I'm going to glue dot that on there. And I like to use my take your pick tool to then get it off there and stick it on. So you take your pick tool comes in really, really handy for doing things. All right. So far we have this, this, and this. Now I'm going to add some little dimensionals on my gingerbread man because aren't they cute? They're
They
just
are.
hanging around here playing about.
And speaking of gingerbread men, I'm going to do a little teaser here, Donna. As demonstrators, we got to preview the holiday catalog, right?
Yep.
Did you notice in there
Well, do you
something?
know what? I know that we got to preview it, but have I had time to preview it yet?
Oh,
I
Well, just
quickly looked and I was like, oh my Lord, there is so many nice things there. I need to sit down with a cup of coffee and really look through that.
well, you'll know what I'm talking about using your cute little gingerbread
I'll be
guys there.
messaging you later going, oh my God, I do know what you're
Yes,
talking
you
about.
will. Yes, you will.
All right, so we have that. There's my card base, so I'm going to bring in that. All right, so now we're just going to adhere those layers together. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of time up here this morning, aren't I? So I'm now going to adhere my old olive layer onto my mossy meadow layer. Now, I was discussing this last night and I said, if we have already used dimensionals on a card, do we care how many layers we dimensionalize up? Because you're going to pay extra postage because you've used one lot of dimensionals.
Mhm.
So, and we were laughing about it. And we said, yeah, well, I suppose you got to stop when the card starts getting like 1 inch high because of the amount of dimensionals you've put. But I'm actually going to put dimensionals on this. I'm going to put dimensionals on this. So I'm going to be 3 dimensionals high. So that's a fair bit. But I just think it just makes so much difference to the card.
And I don't know how your postage is in Australia. We have like post we can go to the post office, but then they have the chutes outside where you can just,
Yeah. Yeah.
shoot the letter in there. And the ones outside actually have a smaller slot.
Oh, like a slot that ours do too, but then we have like a handle that you can pull and you can put a parcel in there.
Oh no, for letters or cards like this, we just have the slot. So if you go to put it in that slot and it doesn't fit,
It
then
ain't
you're
gonna
taking it to
fit.
the post office and you're paying extra for it, right? So I make sure I can get that right in that slot.
Yeah, well, no, we can actually pull the handle down and it doesn't matter. Now, I like to stand up for this because I can't physically line things up when I'm not using liquid glue straight unless I stand up and get right over the top of it and pop it down. So I've got that. Then I'm going to add some dimensionals. And see, this is the trick. Look, I've got all my dimensional backings on my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to put them on my desk beside me, but that's Rose's trick for not having dimensionals everywhere.
But truth be told, they'll be on Theo later.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's not in. He crafted with me the other afternoon, but he's not. Yeah, he's out. He's actually on the recliner chair in my mink rug that Stampin' Up gave us as a leader's gift. He loves
Oh
it. Did you get that rug, that navy rug?
no, no, I didn't get that
Oh,
one.
it is
The
a mink.
pink one, it's pink, right?
No, this one's navy blue. Like
Oh,
it's navy blue and it's got Stampin' Up on it and it is heavy and it's like it's only enough for one person. Like it's probably like I mean, for you guys, probably 3 foot wide, and I'm trying to think of how long it would be, because I mean, a meter is about 3 foot. So maybe about 4 foot or 5 foot long, like, but it is gorgeous. So now I'm just going to pop that up in the middle of my card. Now look how stinking cute those little gingerbread men look on the front of that card.
I love that.
All right, now I'm going to add some of our cute little peppermints because that's just going to make this card even cuter.
I just never thought about cutting those little guys out.
Well, do you know what? I was sitting here thinking I was going to do the ornaments this morning. So many of you will know that Rose and I, we just wing it. Like we just jump on. I mean, we have a bit of an idea, but Rose was more organized than me this morning. But we have a bit of an idea. But normally when we
Today I
jump
was.
on, we physically haven't got a clue what we're doing. We are just going to jump on and we're just going to go for it. So this morning I was just going to do the ornaments and they're going to do the sentiment. And then I thought, oh, that's a little bit boring. Like, what could I do? And I was sitting here looking at the stamp, and what I looked at was like, I could fussy cut that little gingerbread man out. Like, so just because it's in that stamp, don't limit yourself to thinking it can only go in the jar. You physically can stamp it and just cut out the little gingerbread man. So that's actually how I came up with it while I was sitting here looking at it, thinking it needs something more. But anyway, all right. So now I'm going to change it up a little bit on the inside. I'm going to use the sentiment. May your heart be filled with joy, which is in here still. I'm going to use that because I didn't use the jar. I was going to use the other one, but it says sending you a jar full of cheers, and I didn't use the jar, so it wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to use that sentiment, and then I'm going to use, I think, the little snowman down the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that in cherry cobbler. And look, I've put some cherry cobbler ink. My cherry cobbler ink pad is so juicy and inky. I get ink on everything every time I use it. All right. So I'm going to ink up that sentiment. We're going to pop that in. Oh, up the right way could help. It was so little, my eyesight was like not seeing that I had it up the wrong way. There. Now, I don't know. Could I do that gingerbread man in the corner? I could. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it and see if it works. It could be a massive fail, this, but I was going to use a little snowman in the corner. I think I want to bring the gingerbread man to the inside of the card like I've got on the front. So let's see if we can do it with crumb cake at an angle that it doesn't look like it's cut off. Let's see if we can go like this. Super cute little gingerbread man down there in the corner. Look at that.
Perfect.
And we can add a little bit of wink to our little gingerbread man, make him look a little bit more glamorous. And to the two on the front. And there you have a card without using the jar.
Love it. I really like that card. Oh, I love those little gingerbread guys.
They're really
some of
cute,
those
aren't
out.
they? And there you go.
Yes.
Heart be filled
And I
with
would have never thought to cut them out.
Oh, there you go. See, we learn something every day. But this is the beauty of being able to hang out and craft with people. It is so awesome to be able to get different ideas from people, because we all have different ways of thinking. I mean, Rose and I think very much alike, but I'm so
It's
glad I
scary
thought of
sometimes. It's
I'm
scary sometimes.
I'm so glad I thought of that and you didn't. So yeah,
I
got you
did,
there.
and I love it. I love it.
So, Rose, would you like to speak about what we have in store for our members for this month?
This coming up for the month of August, and I've been doing this lately a lot using two-tone cardstock. And I did a paper share with it, and I believe Donna did a paper share with it. One of the reasons I love two-tone cardstock, well, a couple of reasons, but when you're layering like we've been doing, it doesn't add as much bulk to your card. So that right there is a game changer if you're worried about extra postage. But I also love the fact that it's got the white core center. It's got light and dark sides. So you can use one side, use both sides, whichever you want. And then you can distress it with an embossing folder and get that white core. So for this month, for August, because it is August for you, next month, tomorrow for us, we are going to be sending out our members, and I have it right here. We are going to get into embossing. So you're going to get these two embossing folders, and these are the Glass and Garden embossing folders. This one's really nice because it can be used for anything, holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, summer, whatever. And this one is flowers, of course. So you're going to get these two embossing folders. You are also going to get, and I lost my little paper, you're going to get 3 6x6 pieces of the two-tone cardstock. And of course, you're going to get your your 2 thick whites for your base, and you're going to get 1 regular white for your cutting up for your layers. So this month we are going to get into embossing. And when you think that you know everything about embossing, maybe you do, but there's some tricks that we have with these too. So if you're not one of our members yet, please think about joining. If in Australia, go through Donna. In the US, you go through me. And like Donna said, if you're not in those 2 countries, you are welcome to join us. The videos, the Facebook page, the craft alongs. You see everything that we do. You just don't get the product.
Yeah.
So, and there are links for that. So we'd love to have you join.
So thank you, everyone, and thank you for being patient with the technical difficulties this morning. I mean, it was a comedy act, like you must admit, you know, like when Rose and I get together, it's always a bit of a comedy act. So for the members, we're going to stay around and we're going to have a little bit of a chat with you after we stop the live stream. But for everyone on YouTube land, thank you very much for joining us and for commenting and enjoying the craft along session. As Rose said, if you want to join us, please feel free. The links are in the description of our videos here if you wanted to jump in and get in on the membership action, because they get so much more in that membership compared to what you get to see here in the craft alongs each month. So thank you for joining.